Story time, friends. This is a fun one. This is an interaction I had with the police. So, let's go back to April 2008. Late April 2008. I'm with my buddy Rob, and my buddy Al, who watches these, was there too. So, shout out to you guys. I'm sure you'll remember this story. I had just picked up my 1988 Porsche 944 Turbo S. This particular model was faster than the 911 of that year. So, it was a Sunday night, it's car night. We're on Lyle Avenue, and everyone's in the right lane getting ready to go on to 390. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm not a duck, I'm gonna just get in the left lane and zip in front of everybody. Yes, like a dick. So, light turns green, and I just go. Just zip, get to the front of the line, and there's a cop in a parking lot on the right-hand side. And the speed limit right there was 40 miles an hour. I was doing maybe 50 going by him. So nothing crazy. And I just look at my buddy Rob, I go, we ain't getting pulled over tonight. And I just floored it. Got on 390. I wanted to go 490 west. Rob, in his infinite wisdom, said, no, let's just get off at Chili Ave on 390. Rob admits that this was a bad decision to this day. So I'm not tossing you under the bus, bud. It was my decision behind the wheel, and I did it. So anyway, we get a call from Al, and Al says, that cop is coming for you guys. He's got his lights off. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I get off at Chili Ave. Bam, there's the Gates police officer, 3 cars behind me. So I asked Rob, how's your license, buddy? Because you can take the car and just drop it off at my house when you're done, so at least I can save myself some money on the tow. So the cop pulls us over, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, honestly, officer, I was going maybe 45, 50 by you on Lyle. I don't think that's why you're pulling me over. And he goes, no, pulled you over for unsafe start. And I just said, oh, I'm sorry, officer, I didn't know that. At first I said, I didn't squeal the tires. And he goes, well, you don't need to squeal the tires for that to be an unsafe start. And I said, oh, okay, I thought that's what that was. My mistake. And he goes, yeah, you can't just, his exact words, I'll never forget it, you can't just rev the piss out of your engine and take off. You don't argue with him. I just said, okay, sorry, sir. Didn't realize that. So then he asked me, well, how fast were you going on the expressway? I had just gotten this car, and I was in 4th gear at about 5,000 RPM. So I was cruising somewhere around 130 miles an hour. But at the time, I honestly didn't know. So the cop just asked me, how fast were you going on the expressway? And I go, look, I'm like, why you gotta ask me that, man? Like, I'm not gonna insult your intelligence, but like, I don't wanna fucking tell you, you know? And he just said, he conned me into it. And I'm like, look, I know anything I say is admissible in court. I get it. But I genuinely said, look, man, I just want to talk man to man. I'll tell you, just fucking man to man. And he goes, this is just man to man. And I tell him I was probably going 100, 110, 105, I don't know. And I just said, look, I just got the car. You can look at my record. It's been 18 months since I've had my last speeding ticket. All this was true. I'm like, I've really tried turning it around and not getting a ton of speeding tickets. And you can look at my record, I have a ton. It's like, I just got the car. Like, I'm excited to have it, wanted to see what it could do. And the cop just goes, sit tight. I gave the best sales pitch I could. I'm not doing it justice. And my buddy Rob goes, you know, I think you might fucking get off. And lo and behold, the cop comes back. And he's like, Adam, I'm more concerned about busting drug houses rather than some punk fucking kid in a sports car. He goes, I'm probably the only cop in the county that's going to do this, but you were straight up with me. So slow it down. if you're gonna do this shit, do it at dusk or dawn. That's when traffic's the lowest, and that's when I guess like the troopers or whoever have their shift change. Have a nice night. So I've gotten let off way more than I've ever gotten in like serious trouble by just being honest to cops. And I know attorneys would be like, no, never do that. But cops are pretty reasonable if you're reasonable to them. At least in my experience. Hopefully that was an entertaining story for you. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.